Previously on Ballz.
Right now it's time to talk to, here's somebody that has got a whole lot of interesting stuff.
Absolute legend.
About her, and her career, and also what she does now. And one of the ones is, what you don't know, all of you, is that she is the sports director at the best primary school in probably the country.
Yes.
Is it too late to get my boy in there, Pauline?
Well, we'll see what we can do.
St. Peter's.
Yeah.
So it is the feeder school for St. Stithians, right? Still. Is it? No, I've always heard it's the feeder school for St. Stithians.
Michael House and Hilton.
Is it really?
Yep.
St. Peter's College in Witkoppen Road, here in Joburg. What a beautiful school. What a great school it is as well. And you're the sports director. What a job to have.
Well, I sometimes wish I didn't have the job.
Why?
The parents are not exactly very nice to you if they don't like you, if they don't like decisions or policies. So we always get told that we have the hardest job in the school.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
But there's no link with St. Stithians then?
No, we're very much a feeder school to St. Stithians, and obviously I was at St. Stithians for 10 years prior to moving to St. Peter's.
Okay.
But because we never had a high school attached to us originally, the boys naturally filtered into St. Stithians, and as you heard earlier, Hilton, St. Andrews. So our high school is a co-ed school. A lot of boys go to a traditional boys prep school, so therefore they don't want to go into a co-ed high school.
And all the girls go to Hilton. Okay. Now listen, I mean, I say a whole lot of interesting. We'll get to the crux of why we're chatting to you today as well. But the other thing is also, yesterday we chatted to Chris Froome. I believe there's now Chris is going out with your daughter. Is that right?
Michelle.
Yes. Well, Michelle is my stepdaughter.
Stepdaughter. Okay.
But yes, it's an incredible opportunity to get to know Chris through the family relationship at the moment. Not sure if it will continue forever. So sincerely hope so.
He's a keeper, Pauline. Keep him. He's a nice guy.
No, I'd love to keep him. And honestly, he is. He's the most humble, talented, wonderful person, and it's incredible to think that he, like you said, he belongs to South Africa, even though he's under British citizenship. Just a wonderful person to get to know.
Yeah, we've claimed him already, so the Brits can go, and you know what, we've claimed Chris Froome yesterday officially. Now, and of course, Pauline, yourself, has an illustrious sporting background, and I don't know if I've met anyone. You've got provincial colours, or is it provincial or national, or provincial colours? In how many sports? 5.
I've got national colours in actual fact 1, 2, 3, 4. And in fact, I've got in 6 national colours in 6 sports, and provincial in 1. I've got it in hockey, which I played for Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Then I did swim triathlon, canoe triathlon, duathlon. I had cycling, road, and time trial SA colours. Mountain biking, which I just defended my title for the 2nd time.
Wow.
And I was a provincial athlete back in my school days.
Gee whiz. I don't know if I mean, I know there's, I can maybe think of some that have gone, I'm trying to actually think of anybody in our country that has gone 3. I know a few that have done 2, and a lot of them are cricket and hockey. Those are the 2 that generally do go together. But no one that's done 6.
6. Flippin' out.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
and it's been replicated year on year. I mean, I have duplicated those titles, and obviously my most recent is my world title in the road discipline, which
stop.
is kind of a dream come true.
That's awesome. And so, which one out of all of those, which was your passion?
Well, I was always passionate about my hockey when I was in school, and coming from Zimbabwe, it was always a dream to be a Springbok hockey player, because obviously our international ties were cut in Zimbabwe, but we were always allowed to come down to South Africa for the provincial, ex-provincial, and we were allowed to stand for the Springbok trial. So that was always my dream until I tore my cruciate ligaments and at a World Cup, and I was told I would never play hockey again. So once becoming a resident of South Africa, I then resorted to straight line activities, and I got into triathlon, which I was through my husband. And I never looked back from there. I captained the first South African triathlon team to world champs way back in the 90s, early 90s. I captained the World Duathlon team as well to World Champs. And obviously now I don't run anymore. I have bone on bone in my knee. So my cycling is now my one and only sport that I pursue passionately.
All right, but now do you still do both mountain biking still and road?
I do. Well, when I say do mountain biking, I do very little mountain biking, but I have obviously done the marathon champs, the SA marathon champs, and have been fortunate to win the titles. But I certainly need to spend a lot more time on my mountain bike.
Yeah, all right. And what else do you still want to achieve? Is there any other sport that's lurking that you still want to go to?
Well, I kind of thought maybe I would do a bit of bodybuilding next.
Johnny can hook you up with some drugs.
Hey,
we can fast track you.
Hey, it's sensitive at schools these days. Stop it.
I don't do drugs. I used to be in the pharmaceutical industry. I think that's what Simon's referring to, Pauline.
Yeah, painkillers. Yeah.
But Pauline, you'd probably be really good at like Ballz or something.
Ballz.
You probably wouldn't be able to. I mean, we talk about the injuries you got. I think Ballz actually would be one you wouldn't be able to do.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be very good at that.
Put your little mat down and go.
I was thinking Pauline would probably end up doing show jumping or something and winning a
You probably find that
world
Pauline would be
title
an
or something.
excellent tennis player or a golfer.
I have dabbled in golf, but you know what golf's like? You all play golf. And you either play golf really well one day or you play golf really badly.
That's golf.
Yeah, and it costs a lot of money, but I don't like playing golf really badly, so I put the
Are
golf
you one of
clubs
these
down.
all or nothing, eh?
Yeah, if I can't win, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, if I don't win club champs in the first year, I'm not playing anymore. We despise your
I
type.
handicap under 14, so I wasn't very impressed.
Yeah, we despise your type.
Oh, well, that is awesome. I think that's a first. As I say, I haven't. I don't think anyone. I'm trying to think of anyone that's done it in 3 different disciplines. I'm trying to think, let alone 6. So that is really a great achievement, Pauline. And congratulations. I think it deserves a PGA clap.
No whistling at the PGA, John.
Well done, Pauline.
Yeah. And maybe
Thank you.
might have a Tour de France winner in the family soon as well.
Yeah.
I tell you, that's the next dream.
But Pauline,
to see Chris win the Tour de France would just be amazing.
Yeah. I want to hope he waits and he's part of the MTN Quebec team and does it then. Although he didn't tell us he was going to do it, but didn't count it out either. So he's got a few years with the Sky team. But imagine he rides for an African team and then wins a Tour de France under the MTN Quebec name. That'll be awesome.
Fantastic,
Yeah.
yes.
Pauline, just chatting to you yesterday, it was really interesting to hear what you had to say about women in sport and just generally people who've given so much like yourself, who really are kind of left by the wayside in some respects. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, before you do, I just want to ask, were you aware of or invited to or anything of the G Sport for Girls events today? The awards?
No, I wasn't.
You see,
I think I'm too old. That's
No, it's not. It's basically something. It's an initiative with Kaz Naidu, which is really trying to raise the profile of women's sport in this country. And I think, once again, in any sporting discipline or in any field, having your people that have been there, done that, is vital. I think just to raise the profile. So that's something we must get Kaz to get in touch with you so that you can maybe be involved in future. But sorry, just answering John's question.
Yes. Yes, it's always distressed me to think that there are so many talented women in this country, and just without the backing of sponsors, without the media coverage, these people are just, they're just never going to get launched into life. And I've watched many women's sports, female sportsmen, just fall by the wayside simply because I feel that it's sport is really traditional male sport, goes hand in hand with business. So I think that women are really disadvantaged, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah. I mean, are you thinking in terms of just sport in general in this country, just going back 10, 20, 30 years?
Yeah, I think right across the board. And just as John and I were having a discussion yesterday, it seems that they don't want to draw on the knowledge of experienced people. You don't have to have been at the top, but anybody that has competed internationally, anyone who has competed for a length of time, there is so much knowledge that one has, and it doesn't cost money to get knowledge from people or to impart knowledge to the youth or to aspiring athletes. And it's always saddened me that even the will to give back into sports has never been welcomed and has never been embraced. And you get a person like myself who has so much talent. People often ask me at school, why am I not coaching top teams? And it's simply because nobody really wants you, nobody really invites you back. Nobody embraces the knowledge.
And you mentioned that, and I'm just sitting here thinking about some of our legends going back, and just some names popping into my head. Like, for instance, we've won a Federation Cup with Brenda Kirk and Pat Pretorius. Pat now plays golf. She's around. Brenda Kirk, I'm not sure where she is, but I think she's still around as well. Just talking in terms of tennis, Greer Stevens, we've had on the show a couple of times. She made it into the last 8, and I think even I don't know if she made last 4, but I mean, she's a Wimbledon champion in the doubles. So there's someone that you could call on. And I'm just talking about, that's just tennis. I think of some of our great athletes we've had in athletics and some of the other disciplines as well.
Absolutely.
Where are they? Sally Little sits in Cape Town. What is,
I just want to mention, I don't suppose anybody's aware that in the 40-plus women's age group, South African women's cycling, in the last 5 years, there are now 6 women that hold world titles, either in the road discipline or the time trial discipline. And I wouldn't imagine one person in this country could actually name any of those people.
I don't imagine one person in the studio would be able to name any of those people.
And that, it's so sad to think that you've got, and it's all 40-plus women, so these are girls that are still putting in a lot of hard training, they spend a lot of money on their equipment, and they're still competing at top level, and yet they get absolutely no coverage, they get no mention, and these girls are talented, we are still racing with the elite girls, we still get put in the elite bunches, and we are still holding our own in those bunches. But it's just very sad that people don't get the mention for the hard work, the dedication, the commitment that they put into the sport.
Yeah. Might be worth having a coffee with Cass. I think I'm having coffee with her. No, seriously, I'm having coffee with her, I think, Thursday. So I might bring it up and say, I've just spoken to Pauline Cound, and there's a whole lot of these other, and this is the G Sport initiative might be one where they can involve some of our legends and people that have been there and done that, and it'll just raise the whole profile not only for G Sport for girls, but also just the whole sporting sphere as far as women's sport in South Africa goes. I think it's a very, very valid point.
Yeah.
I think, and also just it's just essential that people like ourselves are the role models to the young children. These children aspire to top people. This is what dreams are made of. They want to embrace these people. They want to hear from these people. They want to actually be near these people, because that's what makes future sports people.
Yeah. Pauline, it's very interesting chatting to you. As I say, you have a interesting few things happening in your life and have happened as well. Nice to chat to you for the first time, and I will chat to Cass about it, and if you don't mind, maybe pass your number on to her.
Lovely, and I'm very honoured to have been asked to speak on your station, and thank you very much for...
Only a pleasure.
Thank you, Pauline.
Are you still there, Pauline? Okay,
yes,
cool.
I am.
Okay, cool. Okay. And I've got your number now, so I might phone you about my little boy.
This is Ballz Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate, and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Ballz.co.za.